RWP is brought to you by Porch Beer Entertainment.
When was the last time you were here? Do you remember?
That was a while ago.
Yeah, like a month and a half ago, maybe.
A month and a half ago. Well, it's good to have you back. What have you... Well, one thing that I do want you to talk about real quick is Intern Will asked a girl out today.
How'd that go?
Bad girl. She
Well, bad is a term for like hot,
means, like,
attractive women.
attractive.
Yeah.
It's good to stay hip with the lingo. Right?
No, I just went up to her because I had noticed her before, and she's very pretty. She seems kind of punk, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I went up to her and I said, "Excuse me," and I was like, "I just noticed you in class." And actually, I saw her on Tinder. And I was like, I saw you on Tinder.
So she's definitely looking.
Yeah, but then she was like, I don't use Tinder anymore. So, and she said she was talking to someone, so it didn't go well for me. So
She said she was talking to someone.
went home and cried.
Well, she didn't want to talk with you?
What do you mean?
Well, what does talking with somebody mean?
I don't know. I
Dude,
guess
that's
she's
just it. It could mean anything.
Yeah.
You know?
casually dating someone, I guess.
Dude, but that took a lot of guts, man.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
like more than 90% of people do.
I run these things through my head, and then it took a lot of courage to do.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Proud of you, dude.
Another thing that took a lot of courage was the hot chicken challenge that we pulled off a couple weeks ago for the Rando Nation.
That
I was about to say, have you finally recovered from that? You think?
So what happened? So after after the initial pain subsided and stuff, my lips were numb for like 4 hours. So we had to go down to Fredericksburg.
Oh yeah, you were driving in the car after that.
Yeah, so we went down. Honestly, like there weren't really any major issues until nighttime. I went to bed. I woke up at 2 a.m. with the worst stomach pain of my entire life. It felt like I had like 6 kidney stones coming out at once. And I was just like, I just started moaning, and Ashley's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Get something, anything, like Tom's, whatever you can find." And so she goes upstairs and finds a bunch of crap, brings it down. I go into the restroom. I don't leave for about like an hour to an hour and a half. And I'm not even going to the bathroom. I'm just sitting there in pain until finally something. And my butthole burned.
Yeah, I was about to say. So how was the butthole experience?
And
you said
like
you had nothing, right?
Had no after effects.
Nothing.
Make sure you talk right up on the mic.
Yep, nothing. I felt great.
That's insane because it felt like if someone were to sunburn an asshole, that's what it felt like all day.
It was pretty bad because I felt it later that night too. There was a time, like in the middle of the night, where I went to go to the bathroom.
So not to be gross, but
no, that's exactly what we're doing.
Is
here.
it like hot or something? As it's like
it feels like lava.
Yeah.
Like it feels like fire or lighter fluids coming out and nothing like solid.
It's not
really bad.
Great. It's not great at all.
Yeah, that wrecked my system for like a couple days after that. Like things I was eating, like it just didn't feel right.
Yeah, the whole weekend was kind of shot.
Yeah,
food-wise, it really was.
Rough.
I had a great weekend.
So you enjoyed it, and what did your friends think as far as did you get more credibility in the community?
A little bit.
Because you ate the hottest ones. I will say, if I were to repeat that,
it made me delirious. Like during that whole thing, like we were just. It felt like I was high. Spice.
There were times where like I didn't know what was happening.
My whole thing was was just like I couldn't control it, and that really like it was getting me scared, like because it was so hot.
It did. There's a point where it just kept getting worse, and you weren't eating anymore. It's like at that point, why?
Woo boy! If you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to the chicken challenge. So audio is kind of all over the place because.
Are we getting shirts from them?
Oh, I was about to say we're getting shots. Yeah.
Do you get shirts for eating the?
No, you just sign the wall.
But you signed it with just your name.
No, I put the Random Word Podcast.
But then you put Ben.
And then I put underneath. I put Ben. So they're like, oh. And then they liked some of the photos and the videos from the episode. Woo boy chicken themselves.
That's pretty cool.
We should have said, hey, do you got shirts that we can wear? It's a sponsor.
Yeah, I'd wear that shirt every day of my life.
I'd like to at least be sponsored by something local, and Woo Boy's fine. I'll never eat there again.
Yeah,
except for their normal.
You guys
tender.
need a sponsor.
Can you help us?
That
with
was delicious, right?
It was the original tender that they had was incredible.
Do you think you can help us get a sponsor?
No.
Okay, well at least he's honest.
I mean, I can ask around. Like,
so tell me how the tattoo's going.
So I got to build connections. It's good, man. It's finally almost healed, but that's just the outline. So
Yeah. I remember.
I went in.
it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks, man, dude. I'll show you guys after we're done.
Sure. Yeah, just take your shirt off.
I feel like taking my clothes off right now.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it went pretty well. So I showed up there and he had pretty much everything stenciled, and then he just like played around where he put on my arm, and then he freehanded like half of it. Like he just drew with the Sharpie and stuff. He's like, let's just finish this up. And then we spent the next 6 hours talking to each other, just getting tattooed.
Yeah. What were your trouble spots on the arm that like hurt the most? 'Cause
So
I think for me, anything close to the elbow was pretty bad.
Honestly, the elbow on the outside, no issue.
Yeah.
Inside,
yeah.
around the elbow, hurt. The
What
bicep
level of
wasn't that
pain?
bad.
Yeah. What's the level of pain? With
Is it Woo Boy chicken pain?
Because a lot of people
No.
have tattoos.
I think the Woo Boy set a bar, and I was just telling myself the entire time, "Hey, it's not Woo
It's
Boy."
not as bad as Woo Boy.
It depends, honestly. That is so prolonged, and like where they go really depends. If it's different for every person.
Yeah.
But it was really just
for
like
me, the inside, this like area hurts.
that wasn't so bad. The
for
wrist, for some reason, right
Yeah.
here when he got up next to my wrist,
I'm sure that's
hurt
bad.
for some reason.
Yeah.
They say the palm of your hand is where it hurts the most.
Because you got a lot of anywhere you got a lot of like pain receptors and touch and feel. But it was all right.
Now
It's
for
probably
you,
like about a six most of it for most of the session. Sometimes it spiked to like a 7.
Now you had all this time with this tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things is like you're with this guy or girl for like a long time, and like you probably don't really know them that well. Because I remember with my guy, we covered like a lot of different topics over like the 3 or 4 days that I had to go there at different times, and like. But still, like his interests didn't exactly line up with my interests a lot of the time. So you have to kind of find that common ground because tattoo guys are a little different. You know, they've got their own kind of thing. So did you have any uncomfortable moments?
No, not really. I mean, we got to a good spot where so I spent most of the time. So I got recommended. This guy was recommended to me through another one of my friends I have, Ryan, who's gotten like a billion tattoos, and most of them by this guy. He's been doing it for like 15 years or something. He's great. He was like really funny, really like sarcastic, and so we would just make jokes a lot. And I spent the first couple hours I've been like asking him how he's doing that tattoo and like what some of the stuff is behind it, like how you do it, how he got into it, all this. And I asked him about like the worst people he's ever tattooed.
Yeah, I asked my guy that too. Yeah,
the strangest he's ever tattooed. One time, someone came in and like on their back wanted a giant, like that BDSM like rope tying. That on this like really busty woman, but the head was a horse head. And that and it was this woman, this like 40-year-old woman really wanted that on her. And he's like, it was just really weird.
That's one of those things. You're in that position where, like, it's these people's money and their body. Like, you're not going to tell them no. But, like,
I don't know.
There's some decisions where you're like, I don't know about
apparently
that.
a thing. So, but on a scale,
would
like,
you say something
overall?
If you're the tattoo artist,
I mean, they're paying you, so I guess not. It's if you sign the waiver and you know what you're doing, and it's a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
But overall, me and him got along pretty well. It wasn't like awkward when we wouldn't
That's
talk
good.
because I'm not gonna talk for 6 hours.
No, especially when you're literally being poked with a needle for 6 hours.
So what's the finished product gonna be? What type of sleeve is it?
So it's a full sleeve,
Right.
and it's gonna be all color. So no skin will be left untouched after the 20th. It's gonna that session. He said, prepare yourself because he's like that one's gonna be pretty bad.
And I think it's one of those things where like you can't. It's not like you can like drink a bunch before they do that.
Nope.
Because then there's so much blood that you're going to be losing
they
that like
actually-
it does. It's not.
They
good.
actually can't tattoo you if you're drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Your blood's thinner, and it's just it's a mess.
So like you literally just have to deal. Now there's that like spray and the wipes and stuff that they do to kind of like numb your skin a little bit.
Yeah, this shop doesn't use that apparently. The only time they ever do is if it's a neck tattoo.
Really? Yeah, because my guy did it all the
This
time.
one lady,
it was great.
the owner of the shop, is actually getting a giant something across the front of her neck, and so she was getting some ointment specially ordered to numb it. And he's like, yeah, we don't really use that. I was like, cool.
Oh, I'm very glad mine did because mine was already
you
pretty
had
bad.
that?
Oh yeah, they got some numbing stuff. It was great.
Oh,
Now
okay.
you still feel it, and it was only for it was like after like a couple hours worth. Then he sprayed the numbing spray on it, and then did the other couple hours. But yeah, it's pretty bad. But no, that's gonna be pretty badass, man. Especially since the way the camera is normally tilted shows that
I
side of
should
your
just start
body.
wearing
Yeah.
tank tops.
Tank tops,
Yeah.
nonstop,
No,
especially
but
summertime.
I'm trying to understand what is it of.
So it's I'll show you. I can at least show you the bottom half. So it's Japanese style art.
Okay, I mess with it.
By the way, Papa
and
John's is
so
on the way.
There's a
That's
fox.
great.
There's a fox that wraps around my forearm, and then this giant ass bird, and then in between is a lot of clouds and like
That's
cherry
awesome.
blossoms. Yeah,
That's really cool.
it should turn out pretty well. He liked it. The dude was great. I'd recommend him to anybody who wants a tattoo. Billy Stardust tattoo at the Body Gallery.
I want to get a tattoo.
Yeah, you should get a tattoo of me and Dalton.
No,
The
I'm
Random Word
gonna get the
Podcast.
tattoo that you have, but I'm gonna get it on my chest, the Tigers logo.
Oh, interesting,
nice. Yeah.
interesting.
That's what I'm thinking.
So have you caught up all the way through all the episodes? Because you're one of our most faithful rando listeners.
Yeah, I haven't heard the last one.
Well, the one you were on.
Yeah,
Okay,
I haven't
well-
listened to that one.
well,
But
you
I've
were-
listened to
you
everything
were
up
in
to
it.
that.
I
so-
did-
I didn't listen to the best of yet. The second or third or second.
It's the third
Third,
best
yeah.
of.
Yeah, I
This is
haven't listened to
season.
the
So
third.
season 4.
This is season
Welcome,
4.
guys.
This
Yeah,
is it.
Season 4.
Yeah, we'll start the show in a moment, but yeah. So intern Will here. He's going to be, coming on off and on here for the next, as we go through these episodes, and maybe he'll bring something to the table on this show. Literally, maybe each episode here's what needs to happen is you need to
show and tell.
Yeah, you need to either show and tell, or you need to start bringing your own segment when you come on, so you can surprise Salty Dalton and I.
Yeah.
Now, not today. Don't.
homework.
I won't throw that. Yeah, it is homework. We won't throw that pressure at you today, but maybe next time. But we'll get into. We got an action-packed show here, but we might as well start it. So for season 4, Salty Dalton, how would you like to? How would you like to start
so
the
what's
show?
the new thing? So the ending can't be advice anymore. So we need different themes.
Exactly. So how would you like to start the show? Because before we were doing different like sound effects, you would say like "shwang" or like "whoobada-whoobada," and then we'd start the show. "Whoobada." And then, so what would you like to do this time to signal me, the editor, that hey, we're starting the show?
You know what we should probably do is hold on a second.
Oh,
I'm gonna
sure.
Bring up some type of random generator.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be like a random phrase generator, quote generator?
You know what? Let's try that out. Random
Okay.
phrase generator.
Google that.
Random phrases and idioms. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, get prepared. So season 4, the Random Word Podcast. What do we got?
Where is it?
What? Don't give me that look just because I burp in the microphone for the last
That's your thing.
30 episodes. It is my thing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like an actual phrase. These are just like, every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
like
There you
that.
go.
Yeah, you like say it, Will.
Every cloud
Every cloud
has a silver lining.
has a silver lining.
Let's do it.
Welcome to season 4.
All right.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yet I've flown from one side of this galaxy to the other. I've seen a lot of strange stuff.
Arise, fighters of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun rises!
Broadcasting from the porch or the basement or whatever realm hasn't banished them yet. It's the Random Word Podcast with your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah, you can do it.
Welcome in, Rando Nation, to season 4
Season 4.
kickoff with your hosts, Ben and Salty Dalton. And that's all I do here, so you're up, buddy.
Episode number 31, as we have entered this 4th season of the podcast. again, we appreciate those that have been here all the way. Just imagine, the people that are the diehard fans of the show have listened to over 30 episodes of it, because we also have had best ofs and like all this other stuff. They've listened to so much of this podcast, so we appreciate that. We got more in store for you for the next 10 episodes to take us into season 5. So this is going to be a fun round of of shows for sure. Again, you can contact us via email. What's the email again? The randomwordblog@gmail.com.
The randomwordblog@gmail.com. Again, that's the randomwordblog@gmail.com.
Just checking to see if we had any
last minute additions.
Nothing. But and then Instagram, Random Word Podcast on Insta. You can see videos.
The
and
Instagram
pictures.
is popping.
Yeah. Instagram is. I've worked pretty hard on it. And I try to put out some good content on there.
I want a cartoon character version of myself. Like, how you
Bitmoji?
guys have that?
Okay. Well, yeah. We didn't invent that. Bitmoji. You just got to download Bitmoji on your phone.
I'll do that.
All right, and then
We'll get you on there. And
we need to put it for this episode. Maybe that will be the picture. We'll see.
Yeah.
So Intern Will is here, and we are about ready to go here for the first word of season 4. Salty Dalton.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Feel it.
Then he starts rapping.
I know. I like this part. He always goes, "Hey."
Rapscallion.
Rapscallion.
Rapscallion. Rapscallion.
Rapscallion. What does that word mean to? Well, let's hear the definition.
It's a noun, and the definition is a mischievous person. So somebody who's up to no
we got
good.
one right here.
Yeah.
Intern Will's mischievous.
Rapscallion. That's such like a fancy way to be like you're.
I've never heard that.
You never heard that word?
I know a lot of synonyms, and I've never.
You've never heard the word rapscallion? I've heard
never
it
came
before.
across it.
I've only heard it like used in speech a few times.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like that's something like my grandmother would say.
yeah, like an older thing. Like you're a bunch of rapscallions running around, and I'm like, what? What is that?
Mischievous. Tell us something you've done that's mischievous.
Oh, I've done a lot of
Yeah,
mischievous
but
stuff.
tell us the legal ones.
Oh, I don't know. On the spot, I can't. Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Have you ever pulled any pranks on your friends?
No, we don't do that. I mean, like
No?
when we were younger, we used to pull pranks, but
Yeah, we did a few.
We had some pranks.
We had
if
some
it
wars.
comes to me, I'll share.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we did. We pulled a few pranks. But you, Salty Dalton, I feel like you were one of those kids growing up that had a mischievous side, but you were a good enough kid that you could kind of fly under the radar.
100%. Yeah,
100%.
100%.
With your mischief.
One time I got a slingshot.
Ooh, that's a
And
great gift.
You know what you should never do is never buy the slingshot pellets they give you at the store. Mm-hmm. You know
use
what
rocks.
works great
Rocks
is marbles.
Oh, marbles.
Oh, yeah.
Marbles
Yeah. You get marbles real
become
cheap.
a deadly weapon.
Yeah. Have you ever played the game Marbles? I had like a marble set once.
Yeah, I remember.
Where you have to like use
you get
one
the
marble
circle,
to like
you draw the circle,
and
you
you
have
gotta
to
like
shoot
flick it and shoot the marble and hit the other marbles out of the ring, the circle. Can you imagine that was a game? Like people played that game and was like, this is a blast.
Yeah.
So, what were you hitting cars or something with these
Well,
marbles?
so there are two slingshot stories that come to mind.
Sure.
Because I used to do that as well. I
Yeah,
used rocks.
I used to sit. I sat on my deck and like, I was never like. I never intended to like hit anything in particular, but I'm just kind of like shooting stuff. And I remember one time I pulled back the slingshot and I just shot it into the trees.
Yeah.
And this bird came flying out.
Oh no.
And I'd hit its wing.
Oh my god.
And so it if you've ever seen an airplane like lose part of its wing or an engine, it just did this spiral and hit a tree head first.
That's traumatizing.
And I was like, what the
You murdered that bird.
I like went inside and I didn't touch a slingshot for a while, and I'd like my parents like, hey, why'd you come inside? I was like, nothing, no worries.
Yeah,
Just wanna
no
watch
murder
TV."
or anything. Like I didn't murder a bird.
So I don't know
Wow.
what came with that one, but then there's also a brief time in my life where I shot out streetlights.
Okay. That's like a very like 1940s
Yeah.
mischief there. Like that's like Brooklyn, New York, 1941. You're a young
Yeah,
paper
like
boy.
I would
Yeah,
roam
what
the
a
street.
what a
I would
rapscallion.
roam the streets of Reston at night, and this one time particularly,
That's
like
pretty reckless.
this is like before.
It's like
we're-
a felony.
This is like
Yeah, you're not allowed
maybe
to do
like middle school freshman year.
Sure.
Maybe I'm still like pretty young.
Yeah.
not even like 18, and I just remember like I got compelled for some reason, and I felt so bad later on.
Yeah.
And I still think about it today.
You were probably the cause of somebody like getting mugged because like the lights were
There's
out.
like it was just like I would like dive through the bushes and we'd go and we'd like shoot out these giant street lights. We did about 3 of them, and then we were like, "What are we doing?" And then like one time we'd hit it, and then all the glass fell to the the bulb fell to the ground, and it like blew up, and we got so scared we started running.
Yeah. That could have been a crime.
There's a time that I almost started a forest fire while we skated. We did this really dumb ritual, like I guess like our skate gang or whatever.
Oh,
There's
God.
like 8 or 9 of us, and we were going through like King Stream.
Salty Dalton
and
used
stuff.
to be like a skater guy, and he had like his whole little skater crew. And
Yeah, I'm in a gang right now.
Dude.
Well, he's not in a real gang.
But
I mean, we're talking about when he was in like middle school.
All right.
and then so we did this thing where like whenever you'd switch out the bearings of your wheels, like we'd burn them. And you can't burn like metal bearings, but
No.
we'd put them in this cup full of oil and like light it on fire, and then just like
Yeah, it's a great idea.
just do tricks around it. It
Sure.
was a really weird
like
time.
dance around the fire pit.
And so we were doing
Pour
it.
paint all over your chest.
We were doing it in the woods behind like King Stream and the high school and stuff. And I forgot what happened, but they weren't my bearings. But I lit the fire because like someone was switching out their bearings, and like we were all just hanging out there. And then it was like time to go or something. And this one kid, I don't know if you know him, Ami Singh.
Yeah.
You remember Ami?
Yeah.
Idiot. So he just he runs up and he kicks the cup
that has like the
that
oil
has the
and
oil
flame.
that's
Oh,
on
my God.
fire, because he's like, because we need to put it out. I was like, dude, you throw like rocks and dirt in there.
Yeah.
You don't kick it. So he just kicks this thing. Fire goes everywhere. It's like a fireball, just explodes.
Jeez.
It catches this brush and this briar on fire, and so we're like beating it with skateboards. We just start peeing on it. All of us in unison.
nice,
Just
nice.
line up, and we just like, it was like a fire platoon.
Somebody
We
just
like-
drives by and you
Yeah.
see like 10 kids
So
peeing.
we peed and
Some
peed, and like
movement.
we would get water from the creek nearby and like splash it. Eventually, put it out. There's just giant black spot.
You almost burned down the town.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saved the day though.
Oh my god!
Smart thinking.
It was insane.
It was the pee, I think, that helped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was crazy. But I've done like a lot of really crazy, weird things, but not
Yeah.
enough where like, because like I gotten.
Well, like, what about when you guys had like? Did you guys do anything crazy at baseball tournaments?
I don't know. I do remember one time, I think it was at a baseball tournament where, and I don't know if you were there or not, but where 2 guys on the team were walking on like opposite sides of the sidewalk, and they pretended like they had like
Yeah.
a string
Yeah.
across the street.
Yeah, we've done that.
So, and then like drivers would like freak out for a second. I remember they definitely did that, and I think it was at a baseball tournament or something. And then like one of the ladies like pulled over in her car and started screaming
Yeah,
at everybody.
I was there,
It's
yeah.
like, do you understand how illegal that is? Like, you blah blah blah.
'Cause,
And
like,
the kids
we
are
would-
like, we don't even have anything. Like, we're not actually doing it.
We would also like 2 people would hold it tight, and one person would pretend to step over it to like show that something's there
Yeah.
before the car gets there.
Right,
and
right.
she was livid, dude.
Yeah, no, it was all just like shaving head. I mean, because the whole thing was at every baseball tournament, the
shave
only
your head?
well, there was the shave the head stuff, but basically at every baseball tournament they would always give the big lecture before you left for the trip, being like, "Hey guys, when there's curfew, you can't sneak out.
I know you guys snuck out.
If you guys
though.
sneak out, then you're gonna get in big trouble." And every single year, somebody would sneak out and get caught, and then they would spend the next day just running. The entire team would run. I remember I got to miss out on a couple of those because I had, my injuries every single time I played baseball.
Yeah, fucking lucky. Yeah.
But because there was that definite time where like a couple guys went out to buy like cigarettes or something, and then they
Dip.
got caught on the way back.
Dip probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was dumb because you could have just done that during the day.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an errand.
It's literally an errand, and they're doing it
Oh,
at
it's
like
so dumb.
2 in the morning.
Because they're high
or
schoolers,
whatever. Yeah.
and they always would say that they would like put tape over the door so you'd be able to tell if the tape broke or not. There's no way that
It's a
anyone
lie.
actually did that.
Absolute lie. And
'Cause, like-
half the time, I'm pretty sure they picked somebody that they thought would probably try to sneak out, and odds are they probably did. And so they're just like, "Guess what? We knew it was you." And they're like, "How'd you find out?" And they're like, "Cool, we just did."
Yeah, no, we didn't do anything crazy, but you did. You had soccer tournaments, and you were even younger than us.
Yeah, we got in a lot of trouble at those.
Yeah, like give us an example.
Well, we had the same scenario of the fake string. We didn't get in too much trouble. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, that's okay.
That we've done. We've snuck out. We've done all the. We've done all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one time. So I stopped skateboarding.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
Like in freshman year because we kept getting like caught like trespassing and stuff. Yeah. And like when you're a minor, like you can get so many before you actually have to go to like a court.
Yeah.
To like talk about it. And so I was like one away from that because there's the one that led to it. So we were we were skating in downtown Herndon and there's a courthouse.
Yep.
We didn't know it was a courthouse. And so we're going in this parking garage. Oh God. And we're just tearing it up in there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden
kick flips.
Yeah, all of a sudden like 4 cop cars come screeching out. This one kid just starts running and he's like, "You do know if you run we can tase you." And this kid's just like sprinting and like a couple officers went after him and we got like this huge like lecture. They took down our names and our if we had IDs and our addresses.
Yeah, did they take you home?
No, they escorted us off the thing. But then the second time, I got caught. So it was one before I had to go do something. So I took a break for a while.
Yeah.
I went to Reston Town Center and I got kicked off of the entire property of Reston Town Center. So everything that it touched.
Really?
Dang.
For skateboarding?
Yeah. So we was in the parking garage. There's a group of us, and we were like going through really fast, and like we were up on the roof most of the time. These like security guards and stuff start running up. And so we're all like, every man for himself.
Oh, yeah.
So we all just like break off in different...
The skateboard community is not really, the type of community that helps each other out in that situation.
It's because we were just trying to make sure all of us could get out of there.
Yeah.
And like, you don't stay together because it's too easy to hunt you down.
Sure.
So we break off. I got like all turned around. I took this wrong turn. I run into 2 of them. And so they cut me off. And they're like, "Where are your friends?" And I'm like, "What?" And I'm looking around, and like everyone else is like running behind them, and so I'm just waiting. So
you're
that
the
they
fall
can go.
guy.
Yeah, and so I was like, "What friends?" And they were like, "Your buddies. We're not idiots." I was like, "I'm the only one here, man. I just been skating." And so they just keep grilling me, and I'm like, "No, man, it's just me." And so they end up like they take me out of the parking garage, and everyone else got caught at the bottom. So it was pointless. They walk us all the way past like basically to where North Point is.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Yeah.
Like an entire mile strip.
Wow.
We get escorted all the way to the edge, and they're like, "We have your names and all this other stuff," and they're like, "You're not allowed on this property for a year."
Wow.
Or something. And I was like, I don't know how they enforce it because we definitely went back. But
100%. It would be basically if you got caught again.
I got banned from Jiffy Lube Pavilion.
Yeah.
What? What did you do?
For 2 years. I just had a beer in my hand.
2 years?
I had no idea they were strict about it, and then I got escorted to the front, like off the property, and then there's like a bunch of signs I saw saying no beer on the premises, no alcohol. I mean,
which is funny because like everybody has alcohol.
Yeah, because I hadn't been to Jiffy Lube since like sophomore year.
Yeah. So you're so
they got me.
How long is the ban? 2 years.
2 years, but like I think I could get away with getting like. I just can't buy the tickets under my name.
Yeah.
A lot of it's scare factor, too.
Yeah, probably they don't even have that information. Like, they probably don't actually.
But most of the stuff that, like, we did, like, as kids and stuff, is relatively harmless enough. Like, not murder. I didn't steal.
No, not murder?
Larceny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried.
So I think that falls under, like...
Rapscallion.
Yeah.
Rapscallion. That's the word. Let's move on to our wonderful sponsors here that do such a terrific job. And this show wouldn't exist without them, Salty Dalton. It really wouldn't.
It wouldn't. No, they build the backbone of our financial sponsorship and allow us to continue producing magic.
So who's the first sponsor on this glorious evening?
So the first sponsor we have is Wheeler. So Wheeler is a app and a transportation device. It's the taxi for the modern citizen. If it has wheels, you've got a deal. We're talking bikes, scooters. Your Uber driver is no longer behind the wheel of a car. Mm-hmm. It's behind anything that has wheels. We're talking
like
rickshaws.
A wagon.
Yeah, so you pull up the app pretty much anywhere in any city. If a car can't get to you, a bike can. And so one of our certified drivers will come by and pick you up and take you where you need to go. It's Wheeler. The taxi for the modern citizen. And right now we're running a promo code where if you enter in the promo code RWP, your first ride is free.
First ride is free with Wheeler.
The
taxi for the modern citizen. Think about this, Salty Dalton. You're an orphan. It's the holidays.
Oh my God, yes.
It's the holidays, and
I love this one.
You're looking at all your friends, and man, it sure must be nice for them, having family and parents. Well, guess what? You can have parents too. We are promoting the parental rental. Rent a family today. You may be an orphan, but not for Thanksgiving, not for Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you want to celebrate. You can rent a set of parents. Do you want black parents? Do you want white parents? Do you want Asian parents? You can rent whatever parents you want, and they'll be your parents for a certain amount of time, typically 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
And taxes and fees may apply.
Now, Ben, I understand you've used this service before.
Oh,
right?
all the time. I like to hire them to spank me.
Okay, right, when you're doing bad stuff,
and then they're like,
you're a bad boy.
This isn't part of the terms and conditions. And then, I've kind of dabbled a little bit. I've had a couple different parents come into play, and they'll ground me. They'll send me to my room.
What are the best parents? Like, what ethnicity?
Oh, I don't know. All of them. That's a great question. All of them. And here's the thing, Salty Dalton.
Yeah.
If you use our code RWP in the shopping cart, parentalrental.com, you get your first 10 hours of rental free.
Wow, 10 hours?
10 hours. Now, you have to rent at least 24 hours.
Right.
But 24 to 48.
So you're paying for 14 at the price of 10.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Parental rental, 10 hours of parenthood. And what they'll do is they'll set up shop in your house, apartment, wherever. They obviously get the master bedroom, and they'll just be
run
there.
Things.
They'll run things, exactly.
That's awesome.
They can cook you dinner,
It's a great service, and I'm glad that we're able to bring them on board for this.
We have one last sponsor to thank here. And Salty Dalton, why don't you go ahead and introduce to the folks at home?
Well, so just not too long ago, we got approached by a sponsor, and honestly, I was kind of skeptical at first, just because in a world full of supplements and protein and vitamins, I mean, nothing is FDA regulated. What makes me know that I'm getting the real deal? Now, I'm here to tell you, as someone who uses it, that Vitagum is the way of the future. Vitamins for the person on the go. It's the smart way to chew gum. Now, Vitagum has all of your vitamins and minerals packed into a delicious gum. So no longer are you going to have to take bulky pills or set aside time to take it with food.
Flintstones vitamins.
You can freshen your breath and freshen your body at the same time. It's an incredible service. They have a ton of different flavors. They have different vitamin packs for different age groups, men, women, anything you can think of. Vitagum. So if you go to www.vitagum.org/RWP podcast, you'll actually get access to a special pack where you get 3 free on your first order.
3
free.
You think you're going to take advantage of that, Will?
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Vitagum? Would you buy that?
I think I would buy it.
Oh,
yeah, I'm super proud of that one. That one was probably one. The parental rental. I think I died the first time I heard that. That was the funniest thing in the world.
Would you rent a set of parents?
Yeah, I think some Asian parents would be cool.
Now, if you're a frequent renter, let's say if you're an orphan that had an inheritance, maybe. If you're a rich kid without parents,
sure.
like a Batman situation. If you were Batman when he was young,
yeah,
instead of running away and all this stuff, do you think
his parents died? His
well, that's not. But he if in Batman Begins, he left for a long time or something.
Yeah, because they died.
But
so
if he was a kid,
Bruce
if he
Wayne should have just hired.
What if he had hired parental rental?
Yeah,
and maybe do you think you get the same parents each time?
Well, especially if you're really rich, you can extend that time frame. You could hire them for years.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
Yeah.
So can you just go to like their website, like online, and it's just like,
parentalrental.com.
pictures of them?
Yep, it's pictures of
have to,
them,
like,
bios,
on a couch.
backgrounds. Yeah,
So is
and
it
you can
like-
actually insert your Photoshop your picture within there too, so you kind of see
family
what
photos?
it looks like.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
And that's interesting because like, is it
And
like
if you want them to wear the clothes that your mom used to wear,
Is it like a
you
Tinder?
can just ask.
Is it like a Tinder situation? Like swipe right, you've got a family. Swipe
Yeah.
left, you don't like them.
Yeah, exactly. Except for they don't get to choose you. You choose.
Yeah,
them.
you choose them.
'Cause you can't
otherwise,
choose your
then it'd just be
parents.
a rental parent family being like, "Yeah, I'll take
Yeah.
this kid."
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this guy's okay. I don't know. Darren. Yeah, Asian parents.
It's like The Blind Side.
So you think they would? It's exactly like The Blind Side. So you think
what a good
would they
movie.
like whip you into shape? You
Great
think?
movie.
You think they would be like all
Asian
up?
parents, I do think so. I think they're very proper. From what I've heard,
Well, Salty
you-
Dalton's Asian, so
I've heard that as well.
you've heard that.
Pacific Islander, I heard that.
Yeah.
I hope that woman got fired.
Hawaii from Little League World Series. He's one of those.
Yeah, he's one of those kids from Little League World Series video game. You're right. You're right.
God,
Cool.
that's such a good game too. They need to remake that.
We
Rental.
just played that again like a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, in the winter.
We did the biggest upset in Little League World Series history.
Yeah, they even said the announcer in the game said it was.
Really?
Which was like, this is interesting. Why
But
did
they
put that in the
got to
game?
figure out the announcers in that game because the guy
Isn't it like Jim Nance?
It's like two like
one of his
professional
calls
guys.
is like,
yeah.
this kid's looking really good today.
Yeah.
Oh,
the calls
yeah.
get really creepy.
It's like super.
What a
yeah.
delicious little boy. It's like, whoa, we'll put that in the game.
I'd like to take him home later. Jim, stop.
I like the way he looks in those baseball pants. Yeah, it is, but it's weird because that game spent so much time and effort because they have literally two different play-by-play announcers that they have recorded stuff for. There's some video games that we play now that only have one, and in that game, there's literally two like that. It will vary depending on what game you play. It'll be one guy will do the play-by-play, and when you get to the championship, another guy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was actually really well done.
Oh, it's
So-
legit when you get to the championship.
Yeah.
Those are the.
It's
that's
terrifying.
The big lights,
It's
and
nerve-wracking.
everything.
The big lights, man.
Yeah, dude.
We got to play that game again. So if you're a fan of Little League baseball, you can buy Little League World Series. Go to the website,
just go to-
littleleagueworldseries.com.
Go to GameStop, formerly EB Games.
Tell them RWP sent you, and they'll
Ask you who?
Yeah, they'll let you buy the book or the game. Now, time to move on to the segment that is always sweeping the nation. It's Fishbowl.
Wait for it.
Wait for it, Will.
Wait for it.
Will, are you waiting?
Son, wait for it. Oh. Welcome to Fishbowl.
It is time for Fishbowl, the segment where we pitch terrible or useful inventions, business opportunities, investment ideas. We have birthed some pretty incredible inventions on the show. Would you agree with that, Will?
Yeah,
Intern
I like
Will?
some of them.
Some of them? Okay. Do you have any favorites that come to mind? There's been a lot.
No, I don't have a favorite that comes to mind.
They're all that good?
I mean, I just don't remember them.
It's okay. It's okay. Do you listen to this show? So you have an invention today.
I have an invention, and I don't want to like set it up like it's some big crazy innovation.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's
It can't be better than C-Pod.
to me, yeah. To me,
Peapod
it's a
for
good.
seagulls.
Do you want me
okay.
to?
No,
want me
you
to-
can't go yet. Hold on. We got the music. We got everything going. So it's okay. So would you like to go first, second, or
I
third?
could go first
as the guest.
just to get it off.
All right, we'll do
Okay.
intern Will. We'll do
Me, and then you'll
B.
be the closer.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Welcome to the Fishbowl. You've got 60 seconds to pitch your idea. There's a fish there. I'm a fish.
Blub 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 blub.
Let's go.
So, have you ever been at work
Yes.
and
No, I'm a fish. I don't work.
you're eating? It's your lunch break. Something goes down. Your stomach starts to hurt. You spill
boy
stuff
chicken.
on your shirt.
Sure.
You need. Your socks start to smell. Like I don't know.
I've
need
never
some
ate
new-
so much. My socks started to
You
smell.
need some new clothes, and you need them at work. So what I'm proposing is a vending machine for clothes, and
Oh, okay.
we call it Clogo. Like
Clogo.
clothes on the go.
You still have like 25 seconds. You got to keep pitching.
Socks, ties, dress shirts, whatever you need. Every office building, that's the plan, is to get one of those vending machines in every office building. I mean, it's happened to the best of us,
Your socks just start to smell.
I mean, yeah, or you spill something,
Sure.
Got a big meeting.
Clogo.
That is all.
Clogo.
Clothes on the go.
Interesting.
I like it.
Come on, that's a pretty good idea.
So it's a vending machine.
It reminds me of, I had an idea called Too Close, Too Furious.
Yeah, that's
where
pretty
it's a
famous
clothing
one on the show.
delivery
Yeah.
system.
Okay.
But I like how this is going because that way you
this
don't
is
have
like
to.
a better idea.
Yeah, it's a better version of that because you don't have to wait for somebody to drive up and sell you clothes. You can go E5 and a sick new tie drops out.
So similar to how they stock vending machines now, there would be somebody from the company that comes and restocks it like every couple days or something
maybe
like
it's
that.
one of those big fancy, the fancy ones they have at like Moe's.
Yo, I was just at the airport when I was traveling. They have they have one that dispenses iPods and makeup.
I have seen that. I was
Vending
just at the airport
machines.
too, and
It's
I saw
insane.
that. Yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
buy some Beats, like
Yeah.
right there, or like an iPhone, it is pretty wild.
That's insane.
So will they actually have snacks in your vending machine too?
Yeah.
Is
No,
it like
no.
Musketeers bar then dress shirt?
We go strictly now. I don't know whether to limit it to like just like ties and like handkerchiefs and socks, or whether to include dress shirts and pants.
I think you got to throw some dress shirts in there, some
my
backup
fly
ones.
was down the whole time.
Oh, this whole show?
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. But the problem is with dress shirts, though, is everybody's like different sizes. So you got to just go with an average dress
Right.
shirt
Well,
size.
that's just it. I think is like if you're going to this vending machine,
It's
it's a desperate need. So
Yeah.
you can have a lot of like one size fits all or a stretchy
You
collar.
got to go kind of like
It's
bigger.
It's not gonna make Vogue,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not gonna be
It's-
on
it's
a
for-
fashion
yeah.
line. It's gonna
Yeah.
get the job done.
So you swipe your card or put in cash, and you get and it vends your clothes, and it's not a bad idea.
I actually
I mean,
like
has
it
that
a
ever
lot.
happened to you? Like,
Yeah.
Um,
my first
yeah,
you know?
job interview. Well, not my first one. The one where when I worked at the gyms at Mason. When I went in for the interview
Oh no.
for manager, I was like, I don't have any dress clothes, so I had to borrow. Was it your shirt?
I don't know. It might have been because I had to have those for broadcasting.
Yeah, and it was like because
It probably was my shirt.
size difference wise, because because you not only you
It was either mine or Nick's. It was one of them.
and
Yeah.
you're taller than me too, so it was like
Yeah.
I had to fold it over like 3 times, tuck it in it was so baggy and everyone could tell.
Yeah.
But I still went in there and did it, and it went really well, but I just had killed myself wishing that I had some way to get clothes faster, because I didn't even think I'd get considered for it because I just started working there.
Yeah,
Maybe
I remember.
2 months, and they were like opening the applications for manager for everyone, and I was like, you used to have to wait a year or 2 before you could apply. So I was like, I'll just go apply, and then they're like, oh hey, can you come in for the interview in like 6 hours? And I was like, no. But yeah,
I remember when Salty
Everyone
Dalton did
could
that
tell,
job.
yeah.
His job was literally just
Yeah, that's
to
where you met your wife, right?
it is where I met
Yeah.
my wife. Yeah.
His job was literally just to walk around and check to make sure the like doors were like locked. Like
Yeah,
I would
no,
watch.
that's a pretty chill job.
I'd watch him like walk around the like outside of the like the pool area. And
Now,
stuff.
are you still a gym guy? I used to run into you at the gym now and then.
Yeah.
You still go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now over in Fairfax.
We switched it to just boxing. No weightlifting.
Boxing's great.
Yeah, we do box. So that's pretty good. I will give you 3 stars.
I'll go 4, just because it's a better
So we'll
version
do
of my
3.5 in between us two. So Clogo.
Clothes
Okay.
go. Clothes on the go.
I like that. All right, here we go.
All right, Ben, you're up. It's a tough follow.
It is a tough follow. Okay, so sometimes you're at home or you're at work and
We're in a fishbowl.
oh man, you look outside the window, it's raining again.
Dang it.
You know how depressing that is to be at work and to look out the window and see just rain,
I think
or you're at home and you're like, man, today would be so great if it was sunny outside. I'd be so much happier. Well, guess what? Now you can affect that. We are talking about the window. W-I-N-D-O-E. It's a window, and it's a window that can show sunshine. It's an electronic screen and will show you sunshine outside your window. And you can program it for like when it's raining, and it goes through some couple different screens and things like that. Like if you want it to be like super sunny or just a little overcast or things like that. It's got kind of a range of elements, but it's the window, and that is the invention.
so. Window. Why do you keep emphasizing
Window.
The dough. Yeah.
D-O-E.
My private Twitter @name used to be I'm a pimp dough. D-O-E.
Dough. Yeah.
D-O-E.
It's a win. It's a win.
But I don't understand. I don't understand how that. What do you mean dough?
So let
just
me
the name.
Why don't you just
let
say
me get this
window?
straight. So it goes on any window.
Any window.
Now, can you switch to like a tropical scenery?
That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking, like
yeah,
a
yeah,
beach in
yeah.
the background.
Yeah.
So it's a way to lie to yourself.
You can unlock. So if you want to pay for more options, you can pay you through the app.
And it's really real looking.
but it's
But
like,
it comes through. It comes with.
so you can buy
It's not a bad
additional
idea.
downloads.
So
for
one of the
different
things,
scenery.
one of the options that you can do is you can also just
Could you
upload.
Could you have it so that the window makes it look like you're looking into another person's house? Because that'd be really meta.
So you
Because,
can-
like you look out the window, but you're actually like creeping on.
So you
somebody.
can customize the window. So what you can do is take a picture out the window when it is sunny out, and then upload that up to the cloud, and then you can
So it
use
looks
that
a little more
photo,
real.
so it looks as real
because
as possible.
like the second you walk outside, the depression comes back.
Sure, this
Right.
is strictly for people that are inside.
This is a Band-Aid. What do you mean
Yeah.
strictly people? What, prisoners?
no. It's like,
people
no.
who can't leave their house.
I mean, like
they should
like-
make glasses like that.
like Lindsay Lohan house arrest.
that's the next step in VR or whatever it is.
yeah, to have glasses that show like sunshine.
Yeah, that'd
Well,
be crazy.
Because like it just ups your mood when you know that it's nice.
it does.
outside.
There studies have shown. So have you ever heard of the happy light?
The happy light.
Yeah, it's this light that you can put because like up in the mountains in like Sweden, some other places, like people get so depressed they'll kill themselves.
Yeah.
And like this light is supposed to stimulate some kind of like sunshine, like natural sunshine,
Huh.
and so it makes you happier.
Oh, I like
So you're
that.
less
That's a
likely
good
to
idea.
kill yourself.
What
And I
about the
thought
window?
That was interesting.
What do you think about it? Intern Will?
I'm not grasping it.
Okay.
I
So
think it's-
an electronic panel.
Oh, okay. I like it, but
That's what helps you understand it.
But can you look out the window? Like, what if I wanted
If you
to
turn
like,
it off, yeah,
So is it like translucent?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And it only goes on. You have to pick your window wisely, and you can't leave from.
You can buy multiple if you want, but you probably only want to
Well,
buy
if you're
one
at
because it's pretty
work-
expensive.
What if you go walk by another desk and you look out and it's like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, you can't leave your desk.
Right. So you just
Yeah.
stay there.
But it's like a nice little mood booster.
I like it. It's cosmetic.
Yeah,
I think
it's
mostly.
the window.
It's a cool decoration.
Window.
It's a window. I'll give it like 3 stars, maybe.
I'll give it 3 stars. That's a pretty good idea.
Appreciate
All
that.
right.
Appreciate that.
That's
I think that exists. All right.
I don't know if it does. All right, the
all right,
closer
fishes. Welcome in.
time. This is going to be really bad. Just let you know.
I won't try to waste your time.
Sure.
Grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Some people think it's a chore. You got to go all the way there. You got to fight through the lines. You have to show up and realize that maybe the food you wanted isn't in stock. I'm here to change that experience today. I'm here to tell you about the EGC, the Executive Grocery Club. It's shopping has never been this luxurious. A luxury shopping experience where
Okay.
you show up to a grocery store. You
Okay.
get escorted to an upper class lounge where you sit in a recliner. You're offered food and drinks while you have a virtual assistant go and do the shopping for you. They're strapped to the body cam. They're walking through the aisles. You give them instructions of what you need, when you need it, while getting lavished and covered in luxurious products. It's the Executive Grocery Club.
So it's a membership thing.
Yes.
So you pay to be a member
No
of the
lines.
All
club.
you have to do is pay. You don't.
No lines, premium groceries, premium service. You get amenities.
Okay.
It's basically like if you go to an airport and you go to the fancy ass like top of the line club, and you get to chill out before your flight goes. You could basically get a shop that way, and you get to have somebody walking around with a camera and doing all the work for you, and then they come to you with the groceries, and you leave. You don't even have to pay for
I
the
assume
groceries
that's-
there because you're paying for the membership.
But it's probably pretty expensive membership.
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Like, all
Yeah.
you got to do is pay. They should make you like interview for it and stuff.
Yeah, you
Like,
should
like a golf club, you know.
It's
Yeah.
very exclusive.
yeah.
So the
have to
membership,
apply.
the membership base is actually restricted. So only so many people can get in, and the only way new members can get in is if somebody leaves, or if
Or if a current member like vouches for you or something.
if you are brought in by the majority of the people who are in there. It's so exclusive that people will die to be a part of it.
Literally.
Yes.
They'll
So,
literally die.
I mean, honestly, like it doesn't even have to be anything too crazy at first. But I'm thinking you target New York
I
first.
think it's one of those things where we've seen so many these types of opportunities out there where people will like pay more money to have, like, bowling alleys are now really more like clubs that happen to have and then Top Golf is like a bar and club that happens to have that. So now this is a club that happens to have a grocery store.
Yeah, and you leave with groceries, but you never have to lift a finger.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. What
Like,
are you
I'd
thinking?
love to go in and get a massage
Yeah,
while
ooh.
somebody's shopping for me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
because I do hate. I honestly
and think about how elite you are.
I hate
and
grocery shopping. So
The membership
much.
cards are insane. So once you flash it, you can get into any grocery store in America.
Oh,
And every single
wow.
one will have this lounge.
That's
my
that's got to be a very exclusive club.
And so if you're in that club, you're a big deal. You're
Yeah.
basically a B-list celebrity right off the bat.
yeah.
So they have their own, or do they partner with like Giant or something, or they have their own grocery store?
No. So they basically so they are kind of like the main shareholder. So they'll farm out some money to all these stores. So the stores are constantly getting money and they're getting the visibility. And so basically you show up and you're part of the larger club, but you can get into any grocery store. They'll treat you like a king.
What are you thinking? How many coins do we give him here? How many stars?
I'm giving them 2.
He doesn't like it.
Damn, Intern Will. Okay.
I'll go 3.
I thought it was a good idea.
It's not bad. It's
The
not
other
bad.
one, the other
it's
one
not
I had
terrible.
written down, it said straight to Ringer. And I can't remember what it was, but
Is that
I think
a
it's
phone
like
thing?
Yeah, I think it's like an app that when you're like watching Netflix or doing something on your phone, and whenever you get a call, it will still flash up, and then you'll have to hit the ignore button. But if you do that, they know it went to voicemail.
You always have to let it
But
just
this
play out.
this app, so instead of doing that, this app will actually just take any incoming call like a do not disturb, and it'll vet it for you, and then it will erase that part completely, so you won't even know you got the phone call until after.
Ooh, because nobody's picking up the phone usually on the first ring anyways. Like,
Yeah, so it doesn't even do that. So it won't even ring for the other people.
Oh, okay.
It'll just go like right to thing, so they'll think your phone's off.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't really know that much about it because I wrote it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I got you. Time to move on to another new segment here. And this one is called Pilot House.
Roll 'em. Action.
Is this new?
Cut. Cut. Cut.
Love it.
Pilot House is the opportunity for us to create a new TV show or pilot. We've created a couple ones. There was like a chef one.
There was a chef one.
With the idea was that the chef had to be blindfolded and the other person had to
teach,
talk
you
them
had to teach
through it.
a nobody to do what a chef could do.
Yeah, so there was that. I think mine involved like homeless cooking or something. So we've had a few ones here, and I know I didn't tell you that we were doing this segment, so you can just kind of give us some feedback on these shows. Like,
we
would
did
you
one
watch
where it was like Web of Lies.
Yeah,
Where you had to lie your way through escalating situations.
Yeah.
And if you made it through the end with anyone else not finding out your lie, you got like $1 million.
So I've got one here I'd like to present to you fellas.
I have one I kind of just thought up, but would need to flesh it out.
Sure. So the name of the show is Clear the Car. And the way this works is it is a game show. And the goal is how many people can you clear out of a metro car without, having, no swearing, no violence, but you are going to be in a crowded metro car, and you have to try to clear as many people out of it as possible.
Without doing anything violent?
Without doing anything violent or swearing. So you have to just be weird, like weird and goofy, and you have to get as many people to leave the metro car, and the more
Stink
people
bomb.
leave... No, you can't. No props.
No props.
No props. Well, you can bring one prop.
just
You can bring one.
Just scream.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could do that.
Can you have props, but if you're caught using something, then you're disqualified? I
you
think
can-
that'd
you-
be cooler because you sneak stuff in.
Sure, you can have that, or you get one prop. And here's the thing: so there will be the game show people will be monitoring to make sure who's just getting off the stop and who's actually switching cars. Because the whole thing is people you get
Because
points.
people are
for-
going to be coming in, too,
Exactly.
while you're...
So you get points for the people that literally switch and leave the car. And it's for a certain number of stops, and you're competing with other people that are on other cars on the train. It's called Clear the Car, and it's a game show.
I like it because, one thing that I would do is pretend that something's behind me. And so I would start from outside the car like in the next one, and like start running and do that, and like look behind me and say like he's coming, and then see how many people start running. And I think my prop would be a blood packet.
Yeah,
and
you
I
get one prop.
I would pop the blood pocket and like come like crawling in and looking behind me, being like, "Save yourself!" like and start running because like
out of here, save yourself,
and see how many people like do that. And think about that. It's dual pronged. So if that doesn't clear out everybody in the first go, people are seriously f***ed up because you got to start running.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the stop and the doors open, if they see a dead body in a pool of blood,
they're not walking.
What are they gonna do? Oh, we gotta get to work.
Yeah. Well, I think so.
I like it. That's
so you're competing against other people.
So are you all competing on the same train? So are
Yes.
people pushing other people into your car?
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
And so they're running into all these.
Exactly. So like
That's a Rapscallion type of game. I like it.
That is a
So there's like
Rapscallion
5
game.
or 6
Good callback.
and there's all these different cameras that are hidden cameras that are set up in the metro cars themselves to capture the action.
And it's all like just like people have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so
I
you're
think
all
that's
battling
the most
each other.
effective idea. The crawling in.
So
like
that's the
that.
thing. You have to be creative because
Yeah.
you can't. There's no like you can't go in there and just start swearing like crazy.
How about
and
one
then
thing? You can't touch anybody.
you can't. Yeah, you can't physically harm anyone, touch anybody, or anything like
You
that.
just got to do something super weird.
Exactly.
Probably
That's,
like walk
That's why you
in,
have to
like,
get creative.
Take off
Start
all.
like seizing or something.
Like walk in, take off all your clothes, but then like hang them up
Yeah.
and like put them away and just pretend like this is your house.
Yeah.
And like look at these people and like
Pots and pans and
and be like, "So, excuse me, I'm changing" or something, and see if they just get
Set up a hot plate. Start like
Yeah.
making eggs for breakfast. Yeah. So the show's called Clear the Car.
I like it. That's actually a really good show.
All right, I appreciate
like
that.
that
I
idea.
appreciate that. So what are you thinking? What do you have?
Okay,
going
so
on?
I was thinking, I totally forgot to come up with one because I just forgot
okay.
this is part of our show now.
that you wrote.
I know, right? So one thing I'm thinking is, I think the title is "Whose Fear Is It Anyway?"
Okay.
And so it's kind of like a game show type thing, but so you have to so you're all in this like room together or something, or maybe you all do activities together. It's kind of like Survivor, like you do these challenges, you're team building. But the thing is, all the like each challenge is based off of somebody's like worst fear.
Okay.
And the job for that person is to not let anyone know that that's their worst fear. And so you have to guess and try to pick whose fear fits each person.
It's interesting.
After not really, like, you don't know that much about them. But
Yeah.
you got to try to read their body language while you're doing all this stuff. And so if you can correctly kick people off, the last person standing get some kind of prize. But basically, like, you have to experience different fears or something
So like
that.
each challenge will involve something that's like a normal fear to have. Like this is a height challenge. This is like a a dark challenge. This is like
all the contestants basically
Yeah.
know. They're like, if you get found out that this is your worst fear, then or they have a list of fears.
Yeah,
I don't know how it'll work yet, but like
sure.
like think about it. So like if you guess wrong, so one person is like chosen out of a hat and be like, okay, if you can match somebody with their fear right now, that person's out, and you guys keep moving on. If they get it wrong, then all the entire group goes through something really scary or something like that. But you have to like just keep going through stuff till you figure it out. I don't know. But
I think
there's something there.
Do you have any TV show ideas that you've always wanted to, or that you think would make like a good show?
I wish I did. I'm not coming up with these.
It's okay.
on the
It's all
spot.
right.
I can do some thinking by myself and get some
Sure,
good stories and TV show ideas.
I think one thing that would
Come back with it.
One thing that would be interesting is you took a. So the way you'd have to do this is like kind of like Truman Show like. So you get somebody, you tell them that you're filming some type of show or something like that. Maybe like a reality.
Have you seen the Truman Show movie?
It's like it's a show. It's a movie about a guy who's a part of a show he has no idea.
Yes, I just saw that like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think it has to be
And
something like that.
He finds it at the end, right?
Yep.
The door-
Yep. Yeah. He finds that
Finds
door
the
and he's
door.
like, "It, I'm out."
Yeah.
So one thing that you would have to do is like get somebody and convince them that you're doing a reality TV show, or you pay them and be like, hey, these cameras are going to record your whatever. And for a while you just don't do anything.
Yeah.
And have them just like,
Thinking
pretend to
that they're
talk to
part
the
of-
camera and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then you get people to try to convince this person that things are happening or that there's a ghost in there.
Okay.
So like people come in, like see something and then scream and run out, and the person's like stuck looking around and like
make them think they're part of one type of show when really they're part of something else.
And your whole thing is like to try to convince them that they're crazy.
I like that.
Or something weird. Or convince them that there's something in their house and they have no idea what's going on.
Do you remember that show To Catch a Predator? Mm-hmm. It was such a... Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was so strange because it was like...
He'd walk into... Like, the guy who... The Predator would walk into the house and then all of a sudden, like...
So they
who's
would
the
like...
narrator who's a famous guy?
They just pop out?
Hansen.
Chris Hansen. He'd come out and be like...
So like...
What do you expect? So
what would happen is they would like go into these chat rooms and then like pretend to be like a 14-year-old girl or guy or something and talk to somebody.
Yep.
And then they convince a guy to come over. And these guys... And then they set up all these cameras and they have cops nearby and stuff. So these people would like show up to the house with like a pizza, and then they would like walk in, and then Chris Hansen would be there sitting in a stool like, "Hey there." It's like he was like, "Oh, were you expecting to meet a 14-year-old boy?" And then the person, the funniest,
they'll have like flowers. In
the
their
funniest
hand.
thing
They're
to
like,
me, so some of it's obviously extremely creepy and disgusting, but like the thing to me that did make me laugh was how some of them would react and just be like, "Oh no, like we were just gonna play video game." Like they would be like, "No, we weren't gonna like." And they're like, "Are you sure? Because we have these text messages."
That's an edgy TV show.
Well, they had to stop it because one of the guys that was caught on the show killed themselves. So they had to stop the show, and it was not that that's funny. I don't know. I'm not laughing while I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, one
but like it's
one less Predator.
But it was pretty wild.
It was crazy because they'll literally be like, "No, I wasn't. I don't even know whose house this was. This was an accident. I'm just here to deliver something."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, man, this house is like you wouldn't know how to get here."
Yeah, there's no reason
like,
for you to be.
You were
in
talking
this house.
to Amanda. I was Amanda, and they're like, "No, man, that's not how it goes. I have to get out of here."
Wild. It was a wild
It's
show.
crazy
Because
stuff.
TV that was like 10 years ago. Like TV 10 years ago was crazy. The amount the different reality shows they had back then.
But,
the other show that I always really liked.
What can they do to you though? Like they
arrest you because like they have like the messages of you like saying nasty stuff to like who you thought was a minor.
It's kind of like a sting operation.
Yeah.
I don't know if like I'm sure there might be some entrapment. Maybe I don't know, but
someone
the
asked
thing
me
is
today,
like they were exposed.
Someone asked me today if I could send them some hot.
Oh yeah,
pictures of
so he's
myself.
got all these scam account. There was
I don't know if they're scams.
Okay, we'll talk about that one Instagram one. Remember the Instagram one?
Are you getting I get so many Instagram.
Well, yeah, I get
bots
every single day, but then but there was the one where you were talking to them. And like you and I could tell like, oh, this is definitely a fake person. And then they pitched you this business opportunity where they were like, I work at a bank.
Oh yeah. That was on Twitter.
Yeah, it was on Twitter.
Really bad, like a bad girl on Twitter. Like she just DM'd me and she just taught me how to basically beat the system and get some money.
She was like, so it was clearly a scam, but like the scam was to fake Venmo like transactions.
Very complex.
And so basically it was like one or two back and forth texts, and then suddenly this person sends this long instruction panel for here's
how you hack into the world.
And then she's like, yeah, and you send me my cut at the end, and I was like, let me take you on a date first.
And then
because she was attractive, and she was like, we'll see what we can make happen or something like that.
Yeah, she was like, no. She was like, maybe later, like maybe after, but first you have to do this. And then you were like, no, take me on a date. And then she was like, no,
how
after.
many times? What's their success rate on that?
Dude,
yeah, I'm friends with some scammers, and
because it's always like want to make money quick. I've never heard of one that detailed.
It was very like it was something about faking Venmo transactions to get.
Yeah,
it was wild.
It was very like small increments of money, and then
they said, but they were like, I work at a bank, so I'll make sure that this doesn't reach both of us. It was something like that. It was like, what the hell?
I mean, I could just bring it up.
I thought you deleted it.
No, I didn't delete it.
Oh, okay. Definitely read this out loud. You got to hear these instructions.
I mean, I can. Yeah.
No. Read the.
Oh,
she said.
Yeah, read these instructions. So this was after like one or two messages back and forth.
She said, "I said, hey."
How'd she open up the message?
I guess she deleted it because I just have me saying, "Hey, what's good?" and then totally. But then she says, "You have Cash App with a minimum of $100," and I said, "Yeah, of course." And she says, I mean, do you want me to read
this? Yeah, read it.
Yeah.
So basically, I edit Cash App / Venmo send-offs online using the system. You just have to start a transaction using the right information I provide you with. Once the edit is complete, I will let you know so you can pick up the flip and then send my cut. As long as you send my cut, we can do this once every 2 weeks with you labeled as an experienced client in our browser. All the data gets erased afterwards, so you don't have to worry about getting in any trouble.
I don't fucking believe that.
The way I'm able to even access the transactions to switch to the hundreds to thousands is because I'm a processing manager for Regina's, where Western Union, Cash App, Venmo transactions come through before they get to the receiver. I'm the one in charge of finalizing everything after it's sent. I can't touch any money. That's why I asked for you to send my cut when you receive the flip. If anything was to go wrong, your money would be refunded back to you instantly with an additional $250.
So
sound fair or what, hun?
So there's one flag that I have in that entire thing.
Sure.
Your money will be refunded to you. This is all based on you putting in a minimum of $100 or something.
Exactly.
So literally, they're just stealing money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your information.
Don't worry, dude. If for some reason the money isn't refunded, we'll give it back to you and give you an extra $250 on the top.
I love it.
Fucking won't.
I love it.
That's amazing.
But then you said to her, because I was with him and we were like, because we knew it was a scam, so I was like, ask her out on a date and see what she says.
Yeah, I said, can I take her out on a date first? And she was like, afterwards we can make something happen. And I said before, and she said, yeah, no, gotta do it after, promise you. And then I ended it with, thanks, hun, can't wait to rob these banks with you. And then I blocked her.
Yeah. But it's crazy. There's those scammers out like nonstop. Like I get a bot like every day on Instagram. Like pretty much a bot every day that I have to report.
I have to do that too.
You report those? They're free followers.
No, I report the ones that send me the messages.
They send me messages, be like, "Hey, hun, like,
are you looking for hot, dirty sex now?"
And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I should Ashley."
Ma'am, I'm at work.
Yeah, I showed Ashley. I'm getting these weird messages. She's like, "Are you? Huh?
Yeah.
And I was like, "No."
It's like an everyday thing.
It's weird. Like, what the Instagram?
I'm telling you, it's so annoying.
Also, how often does that work?
Well, you got just put your account on private.
Yeah, I need to.
No, mine is, and you still get the message. Their friend request.
The request.
They'd like to request to give you a message.
I have some of those too.
And I always hit decline unless I recognize who it is.
It's weird. How do they get you?
But how does it, like, what's the, like, I want to know the success rates on these scams.
Yeah,
like, remember the Nigerian prince emails?
Oh, that was always,
Where it's just like, I'm a Nigerian prince with $40 million, but I can't access it. If you wire me $200, you'll get all of that money. I don't need it anymore.
What was, we have a cousin named Kyle, what was his? It was someone pretended to be him, saying he was stuck in like.
Oh yeah, in stuck somewhere and needs money.
Yeah.
Dude. They called
our grandmother, and she thought it was real, so she sent them money.
No, she didn't send them money. She was going to, and then she talked to our one of the uncles, and he told her not to do it because he was like, Kyle's fine, like he's like at home, and then like, but yeah, because they had like name dropped people because they had seen it on Facebook. For some reason, I thought
they got something out of her.
I've been catfished before.
Yeah?
Did I tell you? No, someone used me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
that's almost like an honor.
I was like a little bit flattered because I was like, all right, cool. But it wasn't cool because so I was like driving home from I was meeting with one of my buddies and we got like ramen or something somewhere.
Sure.
And I was going back and Ashley's like being really weird and she's like, "Hey, you mind if I call you, like, talk for a bit?" I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I get the...
Somebody saw your face on,
like,
yeah, Tinder
sure,
or something?
whatever, but, like, my brain, I overthink everything, so I'm like, what just happened? Like, oh my, is someone dead? Or, like, I don't know. I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. Did I do something wrong? And so I answered the phone. She's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. We were talking. She's like, so have you ever heard of Plenty of Fish? And I was like, no, but it sounds like some corny dating site. She's like, it is. And I was like, okay, why are you asking me this?
Oh, my God.
So somebody had taken my pictures and even cropped her out of it and posted it on there, made a profile.
No, you did that, bro.
Dude's name was Alex, and he was a kindergarten teacher. And like he took all the likes and hobbies I had on Facebook and put it there.
Oh my
God! How on
God.
earth did she find that?
No, so one of her coworkers was on all sorts of dating apps and like saw it and was like, "This can't be real," but screenshot it and sent it to her. And so we had
insane.
I had to contact Plenty of Fish and be like, you need to remove this account.
Wow.
100%. And then I went on Facebook and I locked down as much as I could.
You got to do
just
that.
like anything. So if you don't know me like at all, you can't get into my Facebook.
You got to make everything private.
But like it blew my mind because like I was laughing because I thought it was really funny because I was like please read me the profile and then tell me if you think that's me.
Yeah.
And like this guy was like super sketchy and being really vague. And he like took the top 3 photos from my Facebook profiles and stuff like that.
What's the end goal for those types?
I don't know because like
because you got to meet them face to face.
When you do meet them, like what happens?
Yeah.
Well, so like I've read that sometimes these people will like string along these like older women or older men for a long time to the point where they eventually get to the stage where they're comfortable asking them for money,
or,
and
like,
then they scam them out that way, like without ever meeting in person.
The other day I was watching like the best catfishes on because there's that show or whatever.
That's been on for a while. Yeah, that show.
It's wild. Man.
That show's insane too.
It's wild.
Yeah, it gets
people are like sobbing. They're like, "I never meant to hurt you." I'm like, "You've been pretending to be another person for 8 years."
It's insane. It's insane. It's
I just understand like how you believe that for so long too, because I feel like part of me would be like, hey, I mean,
it's really lonely people, man. It's really
I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I don't know, but even like even if I'm lonely, like I just like I don't know. There's got to be a way to vet that, you know.
You would think.
But like they go in depth and they make like profiles and fake friends and like also they like tie it all together. It's crazy.
Well, remember Manti Te'o got scammed.
Oh yeah.
By a guy pretending to be this hot girl.
And then killed her off.
I know somebody who would make fake accounts and then they would tweet at themselves from that account, like talking about, oh, this is my brother and stuff like that.
Oh, like a burner account.
Yeah, but he had a ton of burner accounts. I'm not gonna name his name, but
sure. To make himself like look cooler.
I don't think he'll hear this, but he doesn't know that I know this. But yeah. he did this to make himself look cooler. Like,
we should do that for the show.
Very odd.
We should get,
like make an account and be like, this is Barack Obama.
That's
like this
so,
is the best.
That's so sketchy, though.
I know we would never do that. Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the funniest thing is that I forget who in the NBA. It might have been Kevin Durant, but somebody got caught commenting on their own Twitter. Because they had accidentally left it as the other account, so they had multiple accounts.
Kevin Durant did that.
Yeah,
he didn't switch it back. So Kevin Durant commented on the Kevin Durant thing, like lighting somebody else up.
Yeah,
and then immediately deleted it and was like, I got hacked.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Well, speaking of kind of things that you should do and not do as far as things like being catfished, it's time for do's and don'ts.
Do it. Just do it! I don't
think so.
Just do it!
Do's and don'ts.
Don'ts.
This is the segment where we give you some advice, like don't get catfished, about some different scenarios and different things. And Intern Will, we've got a good first one here, because this is something you're into and interested in, I feel like. So some do's and don'ts for street fighting.
Yep. Street fighting.
Street fighting. So my first do for street fighting is so one thing that you want to always do is stretch and warm up. So even if this guy, you're kind of ready, he's ready to fight you, you're ready to fight him, you still got to take a step and tell, even to him, you hold up your hand and go, hey man, before we do this, we got to stretch a little bit. We're getting older. Yeah. You know, we don't want to tear any muscles, stuff like that. Let's just stretch it out. And then you can even help him kind of stretch out the arm a little bit. You'll stretch out too.
Get Kimbo. Oh, I guess Kimbo's dead.
Kimbo's definitely dead.
Dude,
but kind of stretch it out a little bit and then be like, all right, now we're ready. Now we can fight.
It gives you the appearance that you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like the fact that you're even like being like, all right, let me get ready for this.
So you want me to say my do and don't?
Yeah. Do you have a do? We'll say your do. Say just your do.
Do is pretty practical. Just keep your hands up. You know, that's the do. Keep them blocking your face. Don't forget about the legs, because street fighting, people will use legs on you. You'll get a blind kick out of nowhere, and that'll put you down.
Yeah. So
keep your hands up.
Don't forget the legs.
See, do for a street fight. One thing that you could do, kind of make yourself more intimidating, is they don't have to be real weapons, but have a lot of fake, real-looking weapons on you. So when somebody's trying to fight you, what you do is say, "Let's make this interesting," and you take out the gun.
Yeah.
Pop out the clip, throw it on the ground. Take out a knife, throw it on the ground. Take out a grenade, throw it on the ground. You want to look
just to intimidate him.
Just to intimidate him. Be like, hey man, let's do this
like a samurai sword.
Like men. So you're just taking weapons and putting them on the ground, being like, I could have killed you 6 times already, but let's do this man on man, and then that will hopefully make them so scared that they just they back down.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. My don't for street fighting. Don't forget to use other parts of your body that you may not normally think.
Like your butt.
Yeah, like your butt.
What do you mean?
So things that so normally
To absorb it or
everyone's
to attack with?
to attack with.
Use your butt.
Because everyone's normally thinking of street fight. Okay, you've got your hands and feet. Well, guess what? You've got other parts of your body. You got your hips.
You got your head.
You got your butt. You got your head.
If you've never,
You got your chest, your belly.
if you've never
your
taken-
shoulder, a little
yeah.
bit of shoulder action.
If you've never taken an ear to the face, I mean, what if an earlobe gets hit in your eye?
Okay, maybe a little nose on nose.
I've always wanted to do this to someone. Like, where they're
somebody
back
walking
Oh yeah, where you just
like that.
that's the ultimate badass move. Like
Yeah.
you're not even looking.
Yeah, so maybe even like get little Eskimo kisses going. Where
Really
you, like,
aggressive ones,
Where you like, yeah, dude.
You can take out a grown man's eye with your nose.
Yeah, you can.
If you
can.
Eskimo kiss another grown man,
Well, what you do too is like you grab him by the back of the head, like you're gonna headbutt him, and bring him in, and then just go goochie goochie goo, like
Little butterfly kiss too
Yeah.
with the eyelashes. That's where you use the eyelash on
Hey,
their right
lean
cheek.
in.
right.
lean in and be like, God, I'm gonna just.
So yeah. So don't forget to use other parts of your body. Do you have a good don't for a street fight?
My don't forget the legs.
Oh,
Don't forget the legs.
okay. Don't forget the legs. Gotcha.
Because I've watched street fights and people will just break out the legs. UFC is the new boxing, you know?
yeah.
My don't get scared, get crazy.
Yeah,
So one of
that's
the
a good
first
one.
rules, kind of like
Always.
in prison,
That's how I am.
is you need to be like literally look insane. So like
Yeah.
if it means like stripping off all of your clothes
Yep.
to fight this man, and he will be so weirded out. First of all, no one wants to fight a naked dude.
No.
Second of all,
Not
like
at
you
all.
you
Especially
need
with
to
a
seem
dick
so
swinging.
Yeah,
like you need to seem so crazy.
Tuck
maybe-
it. Be like, hold on,
Yeah.
before we fight,
That
and
shit
tuck it
is-
through your
That's
legs.
swanging.
Yeah,
You
or
gotta
like
tuck it like Adam Devine.
or like or maybe or
Like,
maybe
before we fight, I gotta get this out of the way, and then
Yeah.
you just kind of push it back there
Oh,
and tuck it
man.
between your legs.
or maybe
Tape it back.
maybe you
Like, there's no way that guy's gonna
But
fight
the
you.
crazy route is definitely
That's
the
what I'm
route
saying.
to
It's
go.
like maybe you do a fight club. You just start punching yourself in the face to get like
get hyped
ready
up.
for
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Just if you look insane, they don't want to be that guy who other people see fighting a crazy person.
Yeah, they don't.
grab a squirrel and just take a bite out
Yeah,
of it.
just Ozzy Osbourne it. Just tear that up. Oh my
Yeah, because
God.
they don't want to be
No.
like nobody wants to fight a naked guy,
no
A
honestly,
crazy guy.
like
Yeah.
a naked crazy.
The only
guy,
time
yeah.
anyone will ever fight a naked guy is if it's to survive. If you're
Yeah.
like trying to start beef on the
Sure,
streets,
or you're like on an island.
First thing I'm doing
That's the
is
first reaction.
First thing I'm
Let's go,
doing
bro.
is dropping my drawers
Yeah.
and being like, "Let's do this,
Let's do
bro."
this.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
and then you
Maybe you say like, maybe we should shake first, and you go for his crotch,
Yeah.
and he's trying to grab yours.
you combine our two, and then you get naked, and then use those parts of your body towards them.
Do that again.
a little bit of that.
Beyonce.
I am Beyonce.
It's called the Beyonce.
All right, next one. Canceling a doctor's appointment. So we've all been there. You schedule one, 5 months in advance or something, and then the time comes up for your checkup, and you're like, you know what I really don't want to do today? Go to the doctor. But you can't just call him up and say, I don't want to come to see you for my health. You have to have an excuse. So what is a good? We'll start with you, Salty Dalton. What's a do for canceling a doctor's appointment?
Well, whenever you're canceling anything,
It could be doctor, dentist, anything. We'll throw those all in the same category.
so owning up and being responsible is probably a little overrated. So
Yeah, oh, for sure.
one thing you want to do is you want to deflect as much blame as possible onto something else. So there's a couple different routes you can go. You can say that maybe your entire family's just murdered in front of you, and sorry that you don't have time to go to the doctor. Make them feel like they're the asshole by going like,
Sure.
sorry I don't have time out of my day when I have to go to 4 funerals.
Yeah.
Sorry that I can't make an appointment. Maybe you do that, or
Okay, sure.
or you say, I've been offered another doctor's appointment from their rival doctor.
Yeah, yeah.
And say it's a lot better, and I think I'm going to go there. So that way they
some
know you're
competition.
still getting the appointment taken care of,
Uh-huh.
but now they're angry at the other doctor for poaching their business.
I like that.
And
I
you
like
get
that.
away scot-free.
What do you think somebody should do when they're trying to cancel an appointment?
Do make sure that, like, if you're texting somebody, like, make sure it's not that the doctors. Like, if you're texting about what you're really doing,
Sure.
because you might accidentally call them or something and be like, "Hey, I just lied to these stupid ass doctors."
That's how you.
Yo, sorry, just got off the phone with these bum ass doctors.
That's the first thing you say into the
piece of shit, dude. You should have heard them say, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry." Yeah, sir, we're still here.
I mean, it's good advice. It's good advice.
It is. I mean, dude, how many times have you sent a text to the wrong person?
It's the worst.
It happens.
It's
so hard to unsend.
The
You
worst
can't
is if you
unsend
send like a screenshot of something they said.
that they said. Yeah, I've almost done that before.
Done that.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to. I'll talk about this offline.
Okay, no problem.
It's so funny.
Sure.
Anyway.
A due for canceling an appointment. So my due would be, do make sure that it is, when I say last minute, make it literally be the minute before your appointment's supposed to start. Because if you cancel it after then you're probably going to get in trouble. Like you're going to have to pay extra money or something like that. But technically, as long as it's before your actual appointment is scheduled, you're still okay. So wait until that final minute right before, and then that's when you're going to cancel. The appointment's at 9:30. Call it 9:29:59. And say, I'm not coming, and then hang up the phone.
And that way, you're not charged because it has actually come to pass.
Exactly.
Wow, way to be.
What's a don't?
So don't reschedule to a different date. Never sign up to that right off the bat because I've entered a cyclical hell in my dermatology office where every 2 weeks something has come up and I've literally had to reschedule this dermatology appointment. I'm not lying to you, 8 times in a row.
Which is funny because you get every other Friday off.
Exactly. And so I've scheduled them for that Friday.
Yeah.
And there's been one time where I just really didn't feel like going.
Yeah.
And I called and pushed it. The other time something has come up where I'm like, well, now we got to push it. So Ashley and I alternate by each one. Like I schedule, I'll be like, well, it didn't work. You got to schedule the next one. So she'll schedule it for me. And then something happens. And all it does is just keep causing an issue for you to cancel later. So if you're not ready to go to that doctor's appointment, you tell them you will call back with another time. Never sign up to anything right off the bat.
Okay. What's a don't, Intern?
That's hard to have a don't for that one.
Sure.
I
just
would
don't
say,
go to the doctor.
I would say don't make up something that's like too extreme. I believe in karma. If you
I got my legs blown off. Well, we're a doctor's office. We could help. Nah, dog.
Yeah. Try not to have a seed of truth in your lie.
So
don't fully lie.
Don't fully lie. So tell a half lie.
Yeah.
I don't want to go, but I also got my leg blown off. So that's why.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. My don't would be, instead of canceling, send somebody else.
Oh, okay.
So just be
don't cancel, send a proxy.
Exactly, send a proxy. So it's like I cancel my dentist appointment, or I don't cancel it, but I don't show up. I send you.
Send somebody with perfect teeth.
Oh,
and be like, oh, I'm Dalton, and
that
have
should
them
be a business idea.
Yeah, just keep hiring people
dude.
that look like you, but have a perfect attribute that they need. That they're going to the dentist for or something like that. So like you said, that person has perfect teeth.
You've seen The Office, right?
Yeah.
You remember when Jim has his buddy and he switches out all the photos on his desk? Is that Asian dude?
It's the Asian. We watched that the other night.
He comes in. I thought that was so funny.
I like that a lot.
So that's what you should do is give him all the artifacts he needs to prove that he's you and just make them seem crazy. I love it.
Because then you're not getting in trouble. And in fact, they may actually be like, oh, this guy has amazing teeth. Yeah, he doesn't. You don't ever need to come back. That's
the goal. That's the dream.
Last one here. Bank robbery. A bank robbery.
Well, we got all the instructions to rob a bank earlier from Will's friend on Twitter. So.
Yes, that is a great bank robbing
you only need to put $100 down. I swear.
I work at the bank, so I'll make sure I'm the last person to see the transaction.
Everything.
It's a flip.
It's incredible.
Remember to give me my cut.
My cut. Yeah.
I can't touch the money at all.
So a due for a bank robbery. Do be extremely polite because, these are people that are probably, if you do get caught, they're going to testify in court against you and things like that. So if you are very polite bank robber, they may go, you know what, it was bad that he robbed this bank, but he was a really nice guy. And maybe even give out some item as you're robbing the bank to the people that that are in the bank.
Like a Robin Hood situation?
Yeah, like either maybe take some of the money and throw some on the floor for them, or bring along like a bag of candy. It's be like, I'm gonna rob this bank, but here's some candy, and like throw it all on the floor, and then they can all have at least they can have candy.
My do is do the hostage route.
Really? Okay.
If you're gonna go, do that. Go all out. Get some hostages.
Okay. I'll play with you in this space. I got one that plays off of that. Okay, so do the hostage route, but the way you're going to rob this bank is you're going to have someone else rob it for you. So when you walk in, maybe like out of sight of the camera or something, you just throw somebody a gun. And they're going to catch it, and they'll point it at you, and you'll be like, oh my god! And you put your hands up, and like everyone hits the ground, and then the person's going to be freaking out, be like, no, I don't want to, and then you go, alright, I'll be your hostage, just don't hurt anybody else.
That's
and
smart.
Then you convince them that they're robbing this bank, but you just be like, hey man, listen, the best way you're probably going to do this is just go through the store, talk to these tellers, make sure no one hits the alarm. You're their hostage, but you're walking them through it. And then, once the time comes, I don't know, when they go out the door or they start to get caught, you've got the money right there. You're a hostage. They're going to get you out first. So stuff some in your jacket.
Yep.
The police take you out. You're like, thank you for saving my life. I have to go check on the oven.
Wow.
You go home. Pockets full of cash, dog.
That's pretty good.
Not mad at it.
Money.
Wow. I know one of my favorite bank robbery movies was where they dug a hole in the wall. And then it's called Inside Man, and he literally stayed.
That's what El Chapo did
in this wall for like months, and then after the bank robbery, so they robbed the bank,
and he stayed in the wall.
And then while they're robbing the bank, they're drawing it out as long as possible because they're spending that time digging him a hole in the wall that he can stay in, and then so they're asking for like wild demands and stuff like that, and then when they're ready to leave. And the pops off and the police storm, they already have that like all sealed up and ready to go, and then they leave him in there and they all split, and then they get captured, but they're all wearing the same clothes that they make everybody, all the hostages, wear the same clothes, so they all leave the bank at the same time, the robbers and them, and then there's one guy with all the cash and the diamonds and stuff in the wall, and like a week later he chisels his way out and walks out the front door.
It's insane.
It's incredible.
It is insane.
Don't for robbing a bank. Don't forget to bring a good bag. Yeah. Because here's the thing. It's how like at grocery stores now, they want you to use a reusable bag. It's kind of similar for banks and bank robbing situations. Like a lot of them are going green, and so they don't have a lot of plastic bags for you to carry your money in. So you got to bring a good backpack, good bag, something nondescript, like definitely nothing that has your name written on it. You bring like a monogrammed bag
with a baggage tag.
Yeah, with a baggage tag. Oh, I could bring a Harry Bittner bag.
Yeah,
like my golf club bag. But yeah, make sure you have a good size bag that will fit a good amount of money. And it doesn't have any markings on it and isn't really recognizable. That would be so don't forget to do that.
My don't is and this goes against your do. Mine is don't be nice.
Oh, okay. Don't be nice.
I think go all out in the character you're playing and just be one of those crazy like.
So you say sure. Basically you guys you shoot somebody right off the bat.
So and I was thinking about saying that on my do.
You don't monologue, and you're not like, hey, you just indiscriminately be like, listen,
because some robbers are conflicted. You can talk them out of it. Like, no, be that soldier. You know.
Sure. Okay.
Be ready.
Go right for it. Okay. All right. What's your don't?
Let's see. Don't. Don't. Oh, man, I don't know. God, Wrigley is a freaking anxious ball of just.
Yeah, you can't hear that on the mics.
Every time. It's like, without fail, every podcast, you just woo in the background. Don't rob them for money.
Oh, okay.
So, one thing that robbers get caught doing is obviously stealing their money.
Robbing
But
banks.
One thing that you should do is just rob them of all their pens and paper and maybe like, I don't know, office supplies.
Sure. Like
and that way when the police get you and that way it's like it's a trial run. Be like, well, officer, I didn't actually take any money.
Yeah.
I've only taken pencils.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then and you've scouted out the place and you know how they respond and you use that for your follow-up robbery.
And they wouldn't recognize you coming back in.
No,
That's the guy that...
No, Oh, yeah, that's the guy that stole all our sticky notes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I like it.
I like it as well. I do think. Are you getting a?
Yeah.
If you had that app, then it
would go straight to.
it
Yeah.
would go
Hold on,
straight
I gotta
to
take
my
this
side.
out.
All right. Sure.
Hello, Random Word Podcast.
It is time. The final segment here. Intern Will, you've been the one kicking off Season 4. How do you think the show's been going as a rabid fan of the Random Word Podcast?
I just want to say, I think the show's going great, but I just want to say I do have some good, experiences and stories that I could share with. I just got to think about it first.
Sure, no problem.
So I'll come back on and I'll share.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we know the show is a little quick and we throw people on the spot. It's not like Pete was able to suddenly.
Right, as long as I'm better than Pete's first time on the podcast.
It took Pete a full 2 tries to get ready to do this.
Yeah, so no, it's totally fine. So this is the segment where we have listener emails, listener write-ins. Again, the randomwordblog at gmail.com is how you contact us. And Salty Dalton, we've got a few good emails here. Who's first on the docket?
Let's see. Victoria, she's 23, and her subject is going off the grid, and the question is tips for moving off the grid.
Tips for moving off the grid.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all that's there. I mean, probably don't
put a
email with your actual email.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Tape paper. This is what I do: is tape paper to the camera on your computer.
Oh, I do that too, 100%.
Yeah.
And I work for the
That's all you
government.
have to do. That's all you have to
My
do.
old computer, they never saw my face. My new computer, I haven't done it, so they've probably seen my face by now. But my old computer, I made sure they never saw my face.
See, but I always think about that, and I'm like, the reason why I leave mine uncovered is I literally have nothing interesting going on at any point in my life that if somebody was tuning in, that they would have access to.
Are you sure?
I'm not naked in front of my computer.
No,
Because even if it's just open and you walk by it naked, all I'm saying
But
is
I wouldn't be that embarrassed.
If somebody wants to see my
If they're trying to
disgusting
blackmail
naked
you-
body, then they pull the wrong shift.
like in Black Mirror, the guy blackmails the kid because he has a video of him jacking off or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a crazy Black Mirror
it's not the end
episode.
of the world,
everybody does it.
Yeah, I'd be. Cool
Yeah, but
with
his
it.
whole thing was because he was jacking off to kitty porn.
Oh, he was. Okay.
Did you watch the end of the episode? Or did
he
you
got
not get
killed.
that?
He got killed, didn't he?
Yeah, it was because
It was him against the other guy.
it was because he was caught looking at child porn. That's why he
Okay.
wanted to. That's why he freaked out so much. It wasn't just regular pornography. Because I agree, he'd be like, "Yeah, so what?" Otherwise,
Can
that
I
would have been a very short
Enjoy the
episode.
show.
Never mind.
Okay.
Well, how else would you move off the grid? I mean, you're probably just gonna. I mean, you're gonna. need
you have to just get rid of all internet stuff.
to burn your birth certificate.
Change
Okay, that's yeah.
Change your thumbprint.
Oh, so carve a new thumbprint.
No, just burn them off.
Do you ever look at your thumbs and
Can you
see
do
those
that?
lines? Isn't that weird?
It is weird that everyone has those lines,
Yeah.
but you can totally burn them off, like in Men in Black, where he put his hand on the. Will Smith was like, and he started heated up, and he's like, "What the?" And he's like, "Yeah, burned off your fingerprints, bro."
Yeah, dude, that
That's
could take you
interesting.
really off the grid. Just do everything the Men in Black guys did.
Yeah,
Because they were
actually.
completely off the grid.
Yeah, and then all you really have to do is just go buy a cabin somewhere.
Yeah,
and,
that's
and
what I
all,
was thinking.
all cash.
Yeah.
And then you live out in the woods, but then
Yep.
someone's gonna show up at your door and be like, "The president's been kidnapped. We need you to come back." And
Yeah.
you'd be like, "I left that life behind."
Yeah. I
So,
hung up those boots.
I
a
think
long
once
time
you
ago.
buy the cabin, the rest follows.
Yeah, I think you
It
gotta
al-
have a cabin.
Basically,
for
living
sure.
off the grid always ends up with somebody living in the woods. So I
Mhm.
feel like you can skip
Yep.
a lot of steps by moving to the woods.
You need to move to the woods and
I say move to South America. They say that there's Nazi colonies in South America.
well,
What?
yeah, because some of the Nazis
So that's the
left
place
Germany,
to go if you're trying to hide.
and
Oh,
they
they
went
did,
down
they
to
did. They went to
Colombia
Panama and
and
stuff,
Panama
yeah.
and all that stuff.
If you're trying to hide, it seems the most logical place to go.
Yeah, and
Maybe
there's
Tupac's down there.
maybe you never know.
They say Cuba is where Tupac's at.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace, Extension.
Okay, yeah, that's
To get those out there.
yeah, sure. To get it out to our listeners. We've got Calvin. Calvin's 31 years old. His subject line is unsuspecting Uber. He says, "I'm an Uber driver, but I have been I have trouble with people randomly getting into my car when I am not working, claiming it's their ride. How can I make it clear I am off duty without taking off the sticker on my car? Because that's the whole
sucks.
thing. When you're an Uber driver, you have the sticker on the car.
Well, that's just it, and it's always there. And so if you happen to have the same make or model, I mean, half the time people are just drunk out of their mind. They're
Especially if you're driving in a crowded city.
The only thing I could see is if you had like those open and closed signs. If you had something like that, you know. But I don't know if people would abide by that, like
because people are drunk. People, I mean, they just, especially because like in New York City, when we got the last trip that we took to New York, we got off the bus and then I called an Uber to take us where we were going, and the Uber showed up and another guy immediately got into the Uber and then drove away. And I was like, that's weird because that was definitely my Uber. And then I had to contact them the next day and be like, hey, we didn't take that. But I always think in that situation, but does the driver still go to the location that's on the app?
Yeah.
So then I was like, did the person just like get driven to where like the house that we were going to and then be like, well, I don't want to go here.
So that night that we all played darts and got super drunk, we all Ubered back, is I split the Uber with Pete or somebody.
Yeah.
And after they dropped off Pete, I was like, nah, man, like keep going. We're gonna add a new thing, and they have the ability to just change they just start a new thing from there. So you can actually,
I've never done that.
They probably got in and like they got to wherever you guys are going, and they were like, hey man, you need to go up like 4 more blocks, and the guy's gonna be like, well, what the who cares?
I remember because it was like I literally watched the Uber pull up, watched somebody immediately get into it, and watched it drive away and be like, that's weird because that's definitely mine.
So I mean, how do you
prevent that sort of thing from happening?
I guess maybe you could do one of those things like, if they start getting near your car, you know, like in those 70s movies where you put that police light on top?
Sure.
And then you flick it, and then you roll down the window and say, like, perfect, drunk in public, why don't you hop in the back?
Oh,
and
so you actually impersonate a police officer.
Yeah, I think that's... Because, like, once they see the light going, they're not going to get into that car.
When in doubt, just scream.
Just scream, yeah.
If you get in someone's car and they start screaming, you're not staying in that car.
Yeah.
Or they get in, and you manually lock the doors.
Yeah.
And then look over.
Like right when they sit down.
And be like, you guys will do, and then drive.
Yeah, you guys will do is usually a good thing to scare somebody.
Or be like, you have really nice skin, and then just start driving like really fast.
Yeah.
And every time they unlock it, lock the door.
I like it. So I think so Calvin, the advice is like do some weird stuff, kind of similar to the game show we talked about, clear the car. Do some weird things, yell, scream.
Maybe get a weird smell in there.
Yeah. Maybe you have like an air freshener thing that does bad smells, and then when you're off duty, you put that in your car, and then that way if somebody does come in to your car, they'll smell that and be like, let's go.
You could put 2 like big dummies in the back, like
true.
mannequins,
so it's like filled.
So it looks like it's already full.
Sure.
And then whenever you're ready to go back,
they're just
like,
sex dolls
on the clock.
Because you could also use your time wisely,
right?
Calvin,
by having sex with a sex doll at a stoplight, apparently. But then you just throw the dolls in the trunk.
Yeah,
and then you have room.
But make sure like there's a shoelace or 2 hanging
sticking out so that the cop pulls you over.
Yeah, exactly. Can we check your trunk, please, sir? You're gonna need a warrant.
Not my sex doll.
All right, Calvin, that's your advice. Last one here, Salty Dalton.
Murray, 27, bargain shopper. Sick of paying so much for clothes. Me too, man. How can I save some money or stay up to date, I guess, with fashion without shelling out cash?
I'm actually I'm a pro at this. It's called thrift stores. You know, if you really are diligent and you legitimately have like something you're looking for in a thrift store and you find it, like you can get some good clothes from there. I have some good clothes from thrift store. This sweatshirt's from a thrift store. All my clothes.
Think about it, because like so that trash bag. So we go through every like couple months and we donate.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I know at least the fact that like stuff that I donate is not like, I'm not donating stuff with holes in it. I'm donating like nice shirts that I just don't wear anymore. So I feel like you can probably score some really sweet stuff, and I feel like not enough people go look there.
And I think here's the thing.
That's a good point, Will.
Here's the thing. Let's say you don't want to go all the way to a thrift store, Murray. What you're going to do is kind of scope out your neighborhood a little bit. Try to find a guy or girl that's around the same size as you. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to find the opportunity, stop them in the elevator or on the stairs or like knock on their door, and you're going to say, hey, do you have some clothes that you're looking to give away? and then and tell them I'll deliver them for you to the clothes shelter.
Oh,
and then all
okay.
you have to do is just pocket the bag of clothes and bring
walk
that back
away.
to your apartment, and then now you've got new clothes,
I love it.
and they're free.
You know what? That's actually a really smart idea.
And they can write it off on their taxes still.
Yeah.
And then you have a bag filled with new clothes, and some of them may not be ones you want.
And like
but
he said, people aren't giving away clothes that are dirty and ratty.
exactly. So you find somebody that looks relatively similar to you. Say, hey, I work at this clothing shelter downtown. We're going around the neighborhood asking for donations for clothes.
And
Can you
that's
put
the
together a
perfect
bag?
crime. It's
And
not
then-
even a crime because it's donations, but like that's the perfect way to go steal clothes.
Exactly, because it's not going to be like incredible clothes, but like you said, they're in good shape. So I think that's the route, Murray. I think that's it.
That's way better because what I was gonna say is you show up to maybe not people that you know, but what you should do is just like
The funniest thing would be then you're suddenly wearing their shirts.
Yeah.
So they're like, what the hell? Didn't they donate that shirt?
But
like a
so you're
specific
completely naked, right?
Yeah.
And you go
Yeah,
knock
yeah.
on a door.
Oh,
And you're
yeah.
like covering up and be like, "Help! I was mugged. They took off my clothes. Do you have anything I can wear?" And they give you the clothes.
That's if you need it. That's if you need it now. And
Yeah. So like
Just
in like
one outfit.
What are they gonna do? They're not gonna be like, "Sorry, go." Like I'll be like,
They're
if someone did that to
definitely
me,
giving you
I'll be like,
clothes.
"Let me go grab you some underwear and some sweatpants or
Yeah,
something."
yeah.
And like I said, people aren't just like giving you stuff
Just
with
do that
holes in
every
it. They're
time.
like, "Here, put on these clothes because I don't want a naked man screaming on
Oh,
my
exactly.
porch."
it takes
And
some
then-
balls.
That's what I'm saying is you really got to be comfortable
Yeah.
in doing that. But then you put on the clothes, you go, "Thank you so much." Then you sprint off like you're in a hurry. Go back to your house, drop the clothes off, rinse and repeat around the
Yeah.
neighborhood, and you'll collect outfits.
Yeah. Did you see the story that was going around that on social media about the guy who he was headed to a lab class and he had worn shorts that day and it was going to be a final and you can't wear shorts in the lab. And so he was freaking out because he wouldn't have enough time to run back to his dorm and change. So he literally found a complete stranger and like was, "Hey man, I need your pants." And the guy like was obviously a little thrown off, but then he literally explained, "Here's the situation." The guy,
yeah.
and then they went into the bathroom. They exchanged the pants and
I've literally
shorts,
done that before, except it's sweatpants.
and then
Yeah.
they found
Why'd you do it?
Same thing. There's like
because you have to have you have to have pants on.
like chemicals and stuff like that. Like you cannot. So like I knew the person.
Yeah.
And I was like, because we were in a couple classes, like, dude, swap skis for I'm in lab and I have nothing. And he's like, sure. And so we just
It's
switched.
wild. So this guy did it to a complete stranger. The guy
That's
went
got-
with it.
That's I can't. That guy is so nice because if a complete stranger is like, "I need your pants," I would be like, "Get the."
Well, that's the funny thing. They posted the text exchange where he was like, "Hey man, what's your Venmo? Like, I'll give you money. Thanks for doing me a solid." And he was like, "I'll just take the pants back." Like, that's fine.
No, but I like the pants.
Yeah. So that is the call center. Again, the randomwordblog at gmail.com is the way you get in contact with the show.
Get your 15 seconds of fame.
Yeah. Murray, Calvin, and Victoria. We appreciate your emails, your
Mandy's
letters.
still waiting on you to write in, Mandy. This is a PSA for Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy just never writes in. Will was like, "Man, you really called out Mandy that one episode."
Yeah.
When I was like cursing her out.
Yeah, that was a rant.
Yeah.
Well, she's really nice. I met her. She's
die
she's
hard.
a great listener, but like
She's die hard, yeah, because
How many
she'll
times
text
do-
me every time we release it. She's like, finally, like, because the times we take the week or two off, she's like, finally, and it's like screenshot of her listening, and she's like, this is great.
yeah,
Who were you trying to get a hold of? Was it the Swedes?
the Swedes, man.
Oh, dude, we haven't checked.
I haven't
the
checked
world,
recently to see if they've been listening, but yeah, the Swedes.
You might have scared them off.
We've had multiple overseas listeners to this show.
If you're, if you're
Mandy-
foreign, call into this or email into
Email
this
in.
show.
Email.
Speaking of, so Mandy, like I said, so she typed in, so the one where we did the do's and don'ts for birthday parties.
Yeah.
She said she had a really great do and don't for the birthday party. She said, so the do is like you have to feed the kids, and they love pizza. So what you do is you put Parmesan on the pizza, but grind up Dramamine and put it on the pizza so that the kids pass the
Sure. So
you're
you
not
drug
left
them.
with- yeah, she said,
Okay.
so you drug them. And then they'll basically become sleepy, and then you don't have to deal with screaming kids.
That's like 50 years.
Yeah, that's a lot
And
of
then
jail time.
And then the don't is don't get caught drugging the children.
Oh yeah,
So
okay,
it's a two-parter.
okay. So she's on it.
And
she's
I
on it.
laughed pretty hard. I was like,
That was
that's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
So Mandy,
Yeah, it
you
is.
clearly have the wit for the show. Please email in the randomwordblog at gmail.com. Email us Mandy because we have a decent amount female listeners to the show, but they never reach in because we'd love to have one of them on the show itself. We've talked about doing the wife cast.
Yeah.
Abby could not be less interested in doing that.
I feel like Ashley is also not super interested, but I feel like I can guilt her into doing it.
Well, and we've had a couple female guests that we've called and had on
Janica
the show. Janica and then the Ghost Hunter.
The Ghost Hunter episode is probably one of my favorite.
It was
all
great.
Time.
It was so great. So yeah, we got some interviews planned here for this next 10 of episodes. We'll get some stuff going.
How do we close out the show? What's the new theme?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you have to say something this time.
Well, I always say we get to the sayonara suckers and the howdy and stuff like that.
Do we change up? Do you want to change up our outro?
No, I like the way that is. I'd say, but here's the thing. So last 10 we did advice, where you gave advice at the end of the show.
Okay.
For this 10, let's give. I'm trying to think something that's not advice that we can give to the listener.
Herpes.
Yes. Well, that's a given. How about that's fashion advice. That's still advice.
Maybe a random fact. I'm sure there's a I'm sure there's a fact website out here. Hold on.
Yeah. Take your time. I'll see if I can find one too. Intern Will, you're supposed to pull these for us. Random.
Amazing fact generator. Oh wow! So plants have ways of communicating with each other, and the scent of freshly cut grass is actually equivalent to crying for help. So grass and plants are aware that they're being cut.
Really?
That's
they
sort of terrifying.
They can communicate with each other. Did you know that plants can communicate with each other?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I knew they were like living organisms, but I didn't know they could communicate.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So plants are screaming and crying
when you cut your front lawn. You
are killing them.
If you could speak plant, it would just sound like ah the entire time.
You're literally slicing their body in half.
Please stop! Please stop! What?
There you go. That is it. There's your end of the show. Episode 31 in the books. 9 more to go for this season. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. Why don't you say sayonara suckers this time, then I'll go.
Okay. Sayonara suckers.
Howdy.
That's right, man. That was fun.